Welcome back, everybody. It's Eduardo Jackson, the creator and founder, CEO of Cinema Draft, back at you on this New Year's Eve. It is December 30th, Friday, and I am doing a solo micropod for you all to just quickly review some of the call sheets that were submitted last night for our game and to take a look at what our expectations are for the weekend. No Jay Devlin today. Uh, our fan favorite. Miss you, Jay. Let you get some sleep while I go ahead and bang this out for the people. We always appreciate contributions, and we look forward to having you whenever you're available for the podcast. I just want to give my thoughts on this slate. I do apologize. We had some interesting quirks as usual. Hashtag beta problems this time. We had a very odd, and I didn't find this out till late until a player brought this to my attention that Assassin's Creed somehow ended up being limited, even though it's a wide release on nearly 3,000 screens. So that's weird. But if you saw that and took advantage of that quirk, hats off to you. But let's take a look at some of these call sheets, see what's going on over here. Also, possibly due to the change. Also, another issue that we had was that it doesn't seem like the movies updated from where they were last week. So some movies that should have been limited, like Lion at 525 screens, still stuck at 500, and Jackie, which I think went up a few more screens, still stayed platform, but still reflected as 348 screens from last week. So that's on us. That's our bad. We're still working and trying to make the game better for you, and hopefully things will go smoother in the new year. But let's take a look at some of these call sheets. First one, I guess we can start with myself. We're in the feature presentation for those listening at home. And on my call sheet, so my general strategy was, and we can, and I'll be going back to Box Office Mojo for those of you watching to source kind of what my thinking was a little bit behind the construction of this call sheet. And you see the theater counts here on Box Office Mojo. And so even though for our game purposes, our game is stuck at 348 screens for a Jackie, and the screens hadn't updated per se from the previous weekend. We're still using real life numbers. So even if the Lion is playing on 525 screens and you got it at platform status, platform level, then lucky you. You lucked out. So it's something like, say, La La Land that added 16 screens, still limited, but we're all these numbers are going to reflect real world tallies. And also, it seems like because of the holiday weekend with New Year's Day being a Sunday, and then everyone getting the second off, which is that Monday, New Year's being New Year's Day observed. They're counting it as like a 4-day weekend, but for our purposes, since our game always ends on Monday around roughly 3:30 p.m. Pacific, we're counting just the 3-day tally. So any estimates you see out there for the 4-day weekend, whatever, you might just have to disregard it. And a lot of my thinking was based off of the results from last week. From last weekend, and what the per screen averages were. So, for example, like we're at Box Office Mojo right now, taking a look at the December 23rd through 26th frame. And what I like to do, and this might be a helpful tip for you as you go ahead planning your future call sheets, is I like clicking on the average per screen, and that and sorting by that, because that gives you an idea of what's performing regardless of scale. And so you see a movie like Silence, which took in almost 41,000 per screen on just 4 screens. You see something like Patriots Day, 33.8. In second place, and then Hidden Figures on 25 screens at 33.6. That might help inform some of my strategy around the edges, around the margins, if I'm going like a purely Stars and Scrubs strategy. Like if I want to get 2 Rogue Ones in, or I want to get a Rogue One and some Sing actors in, then I'm going to be going to the average per screen to kind of help inform what I'm going to do for the quote unquote Scrubs portion of my call sheet. And once again, as we say in the theater, there are no small parts, just small actors. There are no small actors in your call sheet, just small contributions. Okay, small grosses. Okay, so on my call sheet, I did for the feature presentation. And as I said in the podcast earlier this week, I'm doing a full avoid of Rogue One. I'm doing a full fade. I went with 3 sings, so a headliner stack of McConaughey and Johansson, and then Jennifer Saunders, which is the lowest priced sing actor at 15,000. And then I saw La La Land a couple nights ago, and it is every bit as charming and wonderful as you've heard or would want it to be. It's amazing. It is really it's probably the best time I've had the movies this year. And so just real quickly, if we're ranking, my movie experiences, it seems like not only of the year but of the holiday season, they seem to backload all the best movies of the year for all that Oscar consideration and stuff. But I would say the best man, this is rough. The best movie or set of performances I've seen was in Fences. The best written, the best script, and probably the best dialogue that I've seen, although Fences is up there, is probably going to be Miss Sloane, woefully overlooked. And then the best time I might have had the movies was probably La La Land. I mean, it just makes you want to go out and fall in love. And Ryan Gosling is a charm monster, and he knows it. He's leaning into it in this. And Emma Stone, she's a movie star. Wonderfully expressive face, just a great, they really did have a throwback to the type of kind of old school Hollywood movies where a lot of singing and dancing and flights of fancy and all that good stuff. So I really enjoyed it. I encourage you to go see it. I think it's going to do well. So I threw Gosling in La La Land as my limited release. He's also a headliner, so I get that 40% point bonus. And then I went, largely Jackie, just because I think if it did so well last week, it's and it's adding a few more screens this week, it still stands that it's going to do some business. It made 1.87, so about almost 1.9 million off 348 screens. And in comparison to The Lion, which is the other movie I've got rounding up my call sheet with their actors, I did the headliner stack of Dev Patel and Rooney Mara at 6,400, 6,100 respectively, and around Jackie, because that also is going to be it's on more screens than Jackie. Jackie obviously had more per screen average with about 5.4 thousand per screen, but Lion, while only doing about 3.1 thousand per screen, still has 3.1K per screen, still has over 500 screens. We're getting it at a discount. It should be limited, but like I said, the system failed, and so we have it, in platform. So take advantage of those points. And so last weekend it made 1.54 on 525 screens. So if it holds something near to that, let's say it does 1.2, that's still 12 points at 1 point per 100,000 in the platform release category. So you're getting, you're seeing a good shot at getting 11, 12 points per actor. I mean, with that ballooning to 18 points per headliner. So Lion and Jackie were my strategy outside of going big with Sing. So that was my call sheet for the feature presentation. And I also messed around with some different constructions throughout the week, throughout the slate. But that's the one I chose for our big game. And also a big shout out to Nadine Harlem. It's my godmother. I'm glad to see she's still playing the game. Quick look at her call sheet. She also has faded. Well, she left a lot of money on the table. Love you, Nadine, but probably should have used up more of your budget. You left 20 grand on the table, but she's big on Hidden Figures. She has the headliner stack and 2 additional actors from Hidden Figures. She's got the headliner stack of Fences and headliner stack of La La Land, as well as Manchester by the Sea. So, I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't win. I think it's got a long shot, but I do like how she went headliner heavy with her call sheet. It's generally a smart strategy if you can squeeze in as many headliners as makes sense for whatever your strategy is. Big shout out to Shanna and the lovely ladies of the Rainier Avenue PCC Stitch group, knit group, whatever my mom's part of. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed sitting there watching you knit and stitch while I explained the Cinema Draft game to you. Left behind some flyers. I appreciate you all. Glad to see you represented in the game this week. And let's take a quick look at Shanna's call sheet. She also got some instruction from Disney Ray 24. She's also part of the knit group. Big shouts to Disney Ray 24. And she actually brought up an idea I hadn't really considered before. She says that the way she goes about constructing her call sheets is that she loads up her call sheet with all the actors that she wants or she thinks are going to perform well, and then reverse engineers it from there. I'm going to try that sometime. I think I'm going to try that next week and see how that works for me. Because basically, so no matter what the price of the actor is, no matter what the salary of the actor is, she just gets all the actors she wants, and then she goes backwards, eliminating and mixing and matching until she's under budget. And that, I think, is a really interesting strategy to use. I'm going to try it out next week. We'll see how I do. So Shanna looks like she's got some headliners in there. It's good. She's got, she's new to the game. So we'll cut her some slack. She did get Forest Whitaker in Rogue One, 24,600. Your only mistake, Shanna, is that you still had room. It looks like you had another 2,200 left over. You might have wanted to go get a headliner from Rogue One instead. You might have wanted to get Diego Luna or Felicity Jones, because I believe Felicity Jones is only 25,000, so you had room to get her. And the only thing is that if you get a headliner for any one of these movies, you get a 40% point bonus. So let's say Rogue One does 80 million this weekend, like some people are prognosticating, then Forest Whitaker is going to get you 80 points at 1 point per million, but Felicity Jones could have gotten you 112 points for that 40% point bonus. So you see the difference there. So if you can afford it, whenever you're making your strategy, your call sheets, dear friends, make sure you get a headliner if you can afford it. She got Gosling from La La Land, just smart. Natalie Portman from Jackie, that's good. Some Fences, Doctor Strange, Arrival. Yeah, so I mean, we appreciate the call sheet. Glad you're playing the game. Hope you have fun this week. Hope you make some money. I mean, I can't quite say with confidence that this is going to be a top call sheet, but I love seeing you guys in the game, and thanks for playing. Hope to see you do well. Matt, longtime player. He's in there every week. Hi, Matt. How you doing? Disney Ray. Oh, Okoye, they're back. The lineup lab guys. Okoye. Let's see what his call sheet is. He's usually a strong player. So he did 2 Rogue Ones. Headline stacked Rogue One. Headline stacked Lion. Headline stacked Patriots Day. Got in Octavia Spencer from Hidden Figures. Casey Affleck for his obligatory limited release Manchester by the Sea. And Emily Cockerell and Monique Gunaratney from Lion to fill it out with 600 left over. Okoye, I like his chances. I'm a little curious about Patriots Day because we have such a wide disparity in platform release this week, as far as what we have, Lion, which is, cheating with 525 screens, and then Jackie, which performed well last week, versus Patriots Day, which is only on 7 screens. It'll be interesting to see, what this does. I don't think that it's expanding at all. Actually, we can check this real quick at Box Office Mojo, see what the screen counts are. I don't believe Patriots Day is expanding at all this week. So the screens you have are the screens you have. Yeah, it's a sit and put. It's basically they just released movies like Patriots Day and Silence, Hidden Figures. Those are the ones they just released on a handful of screens, probably to generate some buzz, mostly to get that Oscar buzz going. Like you see here, Live by Night, which is not part of the talent pool, is only on 4 screens as well. That expands, I believe, January 13th. I'm excited about that one. Ben Affleck directing and starring. He's a great director and underrated actor, quite honestly. He doesn't get his credit. And Silence, definitely Martin Scorsese. That's got prestige written all over it, Oscar bait all over it. So that's why we're not seeing those on wider amounts of screens. Those are pretty much just for Oscar runs, doing the minimum release to make sure they get Oscar consideration, while the bulk of the Academy will just be receiving screeners from the studios, and will be able to decide from the comfort of their home whether they like this movie or not. So yeah, this is an interesting call sheet, Okoye. I appreciate it. I think that's a top 5 call sheet, depending on what Patriots Day does in the second week on 7 screens. It's got real potential. Kelly is another fan favorite, and I believe she is second in all-time money, or is it second or third in all-time earnings in Cinema Draft, just below her husband, Jay Bird, whose call she will see in a second. So Kelly has Diego Luna as a headliner from Rogue One. She has the headliner stack from Sing, very smart. And she took advantage of that quirk with Assassin's Creed being limited when it really should be wide release, which is smart. She got Marion Cotillard as a headliner from that. And then she did a 6-pack, including the headliner stack from Lion to round it out. And what can I say, man? Kelly, I mean, now I see why Jay Bird married you, man, because you are on it. I love this call sheet. I think it's got the best of all worlds. It's got your exposure to Sing, which, according to the weekend forecast on proboxoffice.com, is pro.boxoffice.com, is going to come in at 55 million. They project, so it's a 4-day weekend. Like I said, we're only going to take the first 3 days, but still, if going off their 4-day projections, they're projecting Sing at 55 million for the 4-day weekend. Rogue One at 82 million. So she's got her Rogue One exposure. She's got her Sing exposure with the headliner stack, and then Lion, which is, it's a Stars and Scrubs strategy to be sure, but Lion, you're gonna get some decent bang for your buck, considering it's technically a limited release film that didn't get classified properly, and you're getting at platform release type prices. So yeah, I love this call sheet and the Assassin's Creed quirk. This is annoying. This is what's gonna happen when you have a beta product. We're still working out the bugs and the kinks. It says 1,375 screens. I have no idea where they got that number from because it's been consistently at over 2,000 screens. So a way to take advantage of that quirk in the game. I love this call sheet. I think of the call sheets we've seen so far, Kelly's is my pick to win it this week. But let's take a look at her husband, Jay Bird, the returning champion from last week, the terror of my test group over the last year when we were a spreadsheet only closed alpha game. And this is an intriguing call sheet. So Jaybird load up on Assassin's Creed, and okay, I get what you're doing here, Jaybird. All right, so this is what Jaybird did. He has the headliner stack from Sing plus Jennifer Saunders, kind of the way I went. He has a headliner from La La Land, kind of how I went. And then because I wasn't aware, well, not even because I wasn't aware of Assassin's Creed. I just got notified about the Assassin's Creed wrinkle about 10 minutes before lock, but he noticed it obviously, and he went with it and ran with it. He's got a 5-pack of Assassin's Creed, including the headliner stack of Cotillard and Fassbender. So this is a very interesting call sheet too. This feels like a top 5 call sheet only because if you're able to get Assassin's Creed, did do good business last weekend. Assassin's Creed on the 4-day weekend took in 14.8 million. So let's say it only takes in 10 million, but yet you're getting 1 point per 500,000 at the at the limited release level. Then that's 20 points right there per actor. That's pretty smart. And then with the headliner, you're looking at maybe 32 points, something around there. So I like this strategy. This feels to me like a top 5 call sheet. This just feels like the top 5 call sheet to me in the feature presentation. And the last one we'll take a look at in the FP. Gamble 24/7, Gamble 24x7. Our boy, Vegas resident, appreciate you looking out for the game. Appreciate you playing every week, and I appreciate you taking our money. You've made a nice little side income with this game, I'm sure. Strong player, game theory expert, poker player like myself. And his looks like he also went heavy on Assassin's Creed once he discovered the wrinkle. He has Diego Luna as the sole headliner for him from Rogue One. He has a 4-pack of Assassin's Creed, including the headliner stack of Cotillard Fassbender. He has headliner from Jackie, Peter Sarsgaard. He has Gosling, the headliner from La La Land. He has a headliner from Sing and a headliner stack from Lion. All the bases are covered in this one. This is a very balanced call sheet. Very, very balanced call sheet. I guess I can't call every call sheet a top 5 call sheet. This has a feeling of a top 5 to top 10 call sheet. I like it. I like it a lot. That I think it's really going to be interesting to see how big a difference or how effective a difference it is with that with the quirks in the game this week, with Assassin's Creed not pricing outright with the screen count, and with Lion technically being limited and also not updating properly, and technically being a limited release, although we're getting it at the platform release type category. So yeah, these are all great call sheets, strong call sheets. I really appreciate the strategy and the gameplay. Also, shout out to Cornell Westside. He's been creeping up the charts, playing steadily. Our boy Kevin Garnett, aka working black writer in Hollywood. Good to see him out there. And of course, the draft mom, Claudette Jackson. Good to see you out there, Mom. Thanks for blessing our pod earlier in the week with tales of seeing in real life Malcolm X in action in Harlem. That was really cool. Sometimes you find out some cool stuff about your mom that you never knew was there. That was a very cool moment for me in real time with all of you, sharing the experience with all of you. And okay, Mom. Okay, so we're supposed to go see Sing today. I'll report back on the later pod what we thought. Where she has the headliner. She has 2 actors from Sing. She has McConaughey as a headliner and Leslie Jones. She has the headliner stack from Hidden Figures and a little 3-pack of Moana. Okay, I can dig that. That's actually an interesting strategy, Mom, because Moana still is making money. It still might be a little too wide for its own good at wide release, but it made $12.5 million last weekend, so it's not bad. I mean, it's fairly affordable. So she got the headliner stack of Dwayne Johnson, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Shout outs to Hamilton, great mixtape. Haven't seen the play. And then actually the actual star, that person who voices Moana, Olili Carvalho. Sure, I butchered that. So she got those 3 from Moana, which is still doing business, and then she did the headliner stack from Fences and took advantage of the Assassin's Creed quirk, with that being her her limited release pick. So Michael Kenneth Williams, aka Omar from The Wire. So this is an interesting call sheet. I mean, not a lot of players this week, so you can say, I mean, it's got top 10 potential. You don't have to fade too many people to be top 10 this week, but I like it. It's not bad strategy. Go ahead, draft mom. And I did some other strategies on some other call sheets of mine. I won't bore you with all of them, although I liked some of the tacks I was taking. In the Best Boy, I did Rogue One and a headliner stack from Sing strategy. In I think it was the Gaffer, I did something different. I went with Rogue One, Sing, and then I got in as much Hidden Figures as possible. And then also the background talent, I think I got a little goofy. What did I do in the background talent? Background talent, I headliner stacked Rogue One and Jackie, and then just had to punt with everything else, like a bunch of 5 silence actors, and then Manchester by the Sea for my limited. So I like to experiment some, play the game how you want. I know Jay Devlin's crotchety and get off my lawn with people doing the same call sheets for all the contests. But this game is in its infancy. Make it your own. Do what you feel. If you're out just for the money or you're experimenting with strategy, experiment with strategy. Experiment with what's going to get you money. This is all fun. It's free to play. Make sure you tell all your friends. Send them to cinemadraft.co. cinemadraft.co. We are on all our social media. Check there throughout the weekend for your updates. And if you're playing, check your mailbox. Check your email box. We like to give you a sweat. We like to email you the updates as we calculate and recalculate throughout the weekend. The Friday estimates, the weekend estimates, before we do the weekend actuals sometime after 3:30 p.m. Pacific on Monday. So this, I believe, will be the last podcast for the year. We will see you in the new year. I hope you all have a happy New Year's Eve. I hope you're with either friends, family, loved ones, or new acquaintances, letting the old ones be forgot, as the song goes. And I really do appreciate you guys going on this journey with us. Sticking it out through our lack of mobile access, which we will be changing hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and working with us through the quirks and the kinks of the game as we continue to grow. We really appreciate it. I appreciate it. This truly is a dream come true. I've been thinking or tinkering with different forms of this game for the better part of the last 15 years. So to see this in physical form on a website with players, people I don't even know sometimes, it really is all I could have asked for this year. So thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I look forward to your continued support and spreading the word to all your people. Get them to listen to the podcast. Get them on the site. Just get them involved. Get them engaged. Let's build this up. I like to call this when I pitch this to other people, it's kind of like the DraftKings of movies, and it really will be. It really is. I mean, I love this game. We're having a great time. Having a great time with you all. Thank you for playing the game, trying it out, and telling your friends. And I will see you in a new year.